But my biggest thing is I just want people to live. You know? And I'm tired of people dying. You know, we just had someone great pass away very, very recently.
Yeah.
Shitty, very shitty situation. Hours. Yeah. Very shitty situation.
You know, the sad thing is, I was processing this the other day, last night, is that it's the first time I've ever had somebody I love die of an overdose that I didn't think was an addict.
That threw me off too.
Right? Because normally, like, sadly, when you get phone calls of friends that overdose, you know that they've had an addictive behavior pattern, and you know they're an addict, and you've normally kind of confronted them, and you've done all you can do, and you're just kind of sadly just waiting for the call. Like, I could have never guessed that would be the call I would have got about Cushy.
No. I was sitting there talking to Reese.
Even when they text me, they were like, "We need to talk ASAP about Cushy." They text my wife because I'm going phoneless right now, and I was like, and it was the middle of the day, so I was like, early morning. I was like, "There's no way he got shot." You know what I mean? Like, what could be wrong? I thought he went to jail. Yeah. I thought that call was like, tell big dude to call the big lawyers because they know me. I'm so, you know what I mean? Like call, I figured they had me call the lawyers, you know. And I was like, oh man, if this is the case, I'll just deal with it later. And then I was like, I just can't even believe that's a thing that could happen.
That doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
That's what I told Charlie P. I said, bro, that don't make sense. It just doesn't. Like, you know, what does that mean? But this is the reason. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's gonna listen to anybody like us except for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I can influence the next person to influence the next person, because it's like I was telling Boston today. I was like, look, nobody in this vehicle is gonna pull out a bag of dope and then nobody else is gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if I could tell you how bad that is and be real with you, because everybody, like, I'm getting into this next stage in my life where I'm becoming an adult. I'm getting mature.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, adulthood changed everything for me.
It's insane.
Hence, I didn't end up in country music or singing music or R&B music or rap music or rock music. I didn't end up in any of these platforms the music I make followed the man I am.
Yes.
Right?
Facts.
Like, the music I make now is reflective of an adult. I'm almost 40 years old. I got a 15-year-old daughter. I got a 7-year-old son. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a tax-paying citizen.
Yeah.
I look at everything. I feel like, you know what I mean? I look at everything totally differently. Like, the lens I look at through just from even 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But to see the transition going in, you're going to lose a lot of people in your circle. You're going to lose so many. And you wonder why they don't want to walk in that same path. I'm like, dude, this is great, man. Holy shit. That's what I was telling you earlier, because I don't have a reason on how I ended up in Abingdon outside of God. There's no other way that I can explain the way I met my wife, the way that I became successful, the way I met my friends. They all fell into just perfect, but I was doing 3 things. I didn't lie, I didn't cheat, I didn't steal.
Yeah.
So I did honest business with every person, and I came fully because I was tired of lying. I was tired of being fucked up, and I was tired of being that individual I always was. Dude, 15 years ago, do a deal with me. You don't know if you're gonna get your shit or you're gonna get robbed, or you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't know. So being a different individual now, and I want to show different people that, hey, I can try to do an influence and do a better person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the same that you do is just fucking, it amazes me, especially how you said where follow your music, it follows your heart. You can't explain where your music comes from.
Right.
To me, that's God. There's no other way, no other explanations, because you're supposed to become who you're supposed to become.
Right.
If you're gonna be great, you can be great. Anybody can be great.
Yeah.
And I just truly wish that we could fucking all see it. You know what I'm saying? That's just my vision.
Well, I think the problem with it more times than often is that people mistake. I look at success like boxing, not like football. And I'll tell you, my analogy is like, boxing is a team sport, but it's individually competitive.
Yeah.
Right? And the mistake people make is they're trying to play for the Jets. They're not trying to own the Jets or manage the Jets. You know what I mean? And then their system becomes based on other people's success.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
really
I can only be a good wide receiver if I got a good quarterback, and the quarterback can only be good if somebody's blocking, where boxing's different.
Yeah.
We're in this gym and we can sweat together, and we can work this out together. But every one of us got to go in that ring and fight our own fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, a lot of things that I learned, especially coming from where I came from, when, you know, a lower class community, was it becomes so tribal to a fault, What I miss about my neighborhood is the tribalness, right? Like how close and knit the neighborhood is. Everybody knows everything. You know if a cat's pissing in the corner.
Damn
you know
right.
what I mean? You know, you can hear a mosquito fart at night. You know what I mean? You know what's happening. You know every sound of the neighborhood for sure.
Hell yeah.
You know there's the comfort of that. But the problem with it is that mentality, getting uncomfortable is where the success came, right? Which is why I kept going back to you coming to fucking Abington, Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Somebody had to tell you was a fucking lunatic, right? Like for sure, somewhere along the way, somebody's like, hold on, let me get this right. People. And you're having to explain where it's at even. You're like, no, it's like right past Pigeon Forge and Johnson City. And you're like having to create a little mini map for people like, well, do you know where this is? And they're like, no, well, this, you know where Knoxville is? Yeah, okay, it's 2 hours from Knoxville. You know, it's and it's those kind of moves that's why they say that fortune favors the bold.
Yep. That's the truth. Chances make champions.
Yeah.
I think that, but I just want to follow them hard. Yeah. I'm going to follow what I was supposed to do. I think that if I'm able to do it, I'm going to do it.
Right.
So I'm going to, just like what you were saying with the cannabis, I push it so much because I know people love to get high.
Right.
They're going to get high. They want to get taken out of their reality because not everybody's going to be a success story. Right. Not everybody's going to. Most people I know got a couple kids and they ain't with the same person.
Listen, success is subjective.
Very true.
That's
my success is happiness and being able to pay your bills.
Right.
If you're happy, your bills are paid, that's success.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of people have that. Yeah. There's many people that bills aren't paid and they're not going to be happy.
No.
You know, they're in fucked up relationships, so they get high. So I always try to push cannabis for the simple fact that I want people to, if they're going to get high, do it on something that I know you're going to wake up tomorrow.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, I think, is the biggest push on that.
It's the saddest thing, man. I mean, it's the reason I'm on cannabis. I'm going to say something on this podcast I hadn't told anybody. I'm like 93 days sober from alcohol right now. It's the first time I've went 90-some days without drinking my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
last time I saw you, you didn't drink or anything. I had the Hennessy poured up and everything. That's why I was going to drink it. I had the Hennessy poured up and I was like,
that's whenever it was towards the end of the tour. That's whenever I got off. I got off, I was like, I just beat myself up on that tour and drank and gained weight and just, I can't afford to gain much more.
Yeah.
So I got to figure this out. You know, it's like health started becoming a thing, and it was also, I realized that every time I did something I regretted, I was drunk. And now I didn't do something I regretted every time I got drunk. Yeah. But every time I did do something I regretted, I was drunk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I just had to move that. I'm not saying I won't drink. That's why I haven't said it publicly, because I'm not like fucking programming right now or something. You know what I mean? It's like kind of, this is just a personal thing for me. Yeah. And maybe I'll never drink again in my life, and maybe I'll get blackout drunk at the CMT Awards Sunday. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I feel like I'm in control right now because of that. I feel like for the first time in my life I am in control, because I can sit here and say I'm just not drinking. Yeah. So what Struggle says it best. Struggle says, You're not drinking. You're just not drinking. Yeah. Okay. I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. I'm just not drinking. You know what I mean? So, I'm just not drinking right now. Yeah. See, I don't mean I'm not drinking. It just means I'm not drinking right now.
I always have weird ass rules, because I did the same thing. Yeah. I drank like crazy. So then I came up with a set of rules. Ooh. And then I got rules. And I'm like, I don't drink on Sundays. Yeah. If I drink on Monday, I can't drink on Tuesday. Okay. And if I did drink on Tuesday, because I didn't drink on Sunday or Monday, then I'm allowed to have a little more than I want, right? Right. Because most of the time, if I drink, it's like 2 or 3 beers, and I gotta stop. Right. Because I know what happens. You either wake up with your ex or you're next, and you don't want either one.
For sure.
So I'm like, I'll drink this way, and I'll drink this way. I can't do it on Sundays if it's a Friday night or a Saturday night, not both. You know what I'm saying? And like, I had this whole list of rules, and it's funny, and I feel like an asshole because I'll be going places and I'll be doing business deals, right? And somebody offered me a drink, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good. And they're like, well, we're sitting down, and I'm about to hand you $150,000, and you can't have a fucking drink with me. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I got a list of rules, man. It sounds stupid, but
people should respect it. Because trust me, I am in a business that is built on alcohol. Yeah. I mean, dude, I don't even ask for. I got to a point where I quit asking for alcohol. It was just delivered. Yeah. Just anywhere I sat down, anywhere in the music business, somebody's like, "Oh, Jelly's here. Let's get drunk," because I'm such a fucking fun-loving drunk. And then I ended up in a place where I was like 10 o'clock meetings, and the guy, just because of who I am, was like, "Let's have a shot." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, let's have a shot." Yeah. And it's like, I don't know how to have anything. No. If I knew how to have a Little Debbie, I'd be fucking your size. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to do moderation's not my strong suit. So what I've had to learn to do is take that obsessive personality and make it work for me. Yeah. Right? Because when I realized I wasn't able to change it, I had to change the way I use it or the way I looked at it. Yep. You know? So I quit obsessing about it. Now I obsess about the music and the records and the branching and the touching of people. Because how you feel about weed, I feel the same way about weed. But as passionately as you talk about weed is how I feel about music.
I can feel it in every song.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like music, I'm given 3 minutes to sit with you on the happiest day of your life, the saddest 3 minutes of your life, the afternoon drive at 5, the morning way to the gym. I mean, I get to share the most intimate moments in your life with you, right? Yeah. 3 minutes at a time. And I think about that because I've turned to music for the saddest 3 minutes of my life. Like, if I had to identify the saddest 5 minutes of my life, I can tell you what song I was listening to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can tell you the song we played on the way to the courthouse whenever the night me and my wife got married. We were blackout drunk. I don't remember much else about the night. But the way music registers with me, fucking Bruno Mars, it's a beautiful night. We're looking something dumb to do. Hey, baby, I think I want to marry you.
Yeah.
You know, because we'd go from that to the Gorilla song. I got a body full of liquor with a cocaine kicker. Because we did. We had a bottle full of liquor and a cocaine kicker that night. But it was like, I just remember music that way. So I know the power of music because of what it did for me, not what I've made.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that I've been able to make music that has helped people, I couldn't even imagine. Like, that was my dream all along. I tell people, like, I have fans sometimes that'll cry when they meet me. And I used to, like, I never felt weird about it. They asked me in the interview, they was like, how do you feel about it? I was like, I've never felt weird about it because if I met James Taylor, I'd cry.
Yeah.
Fire and Rain did so much for me. It's so many dark moments in my life, dude. You know what I mean? That, like, I get teary-eyed thinking about meeting James Taylor.
When I show
you know
people who you are, I do that fucking, what was it, Greenway? When you're inside Greenway's shit, doing it, honestly. That's the first thing I show people when I tell people who you are. Yeah. I'm like, check this out. This Fire and Rain is fucking gas. Look how you did it.
For sure. Yeah. That's it. I mean, that song, dude, to this day is just like something about the way music moves people, man. I feel like it changes everything.
Yep. I was letting my old lady listen to Don't Take the Girl, Tim McGraw. I was like, I can't listen to this song without getting fucking cranked.
Like a fucking, Jesus.
Fully. Yeah.
I feel like I'm, you know, fixing to lose my wife. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like, I feel that.
I feel it, yeah. Like, did all fucking just take me.
Good songs will do that to you. Yeah, Morgan Evans is a country singer. He's got that song Over For You right now. And I heard the piano version of it, like, by accident on a playlist. Yeah. And I am a extremely happily married man.
Yes.
But for 4 minutes, that bitch broke my heart.
Yep.
And I hate you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. It was just the song was that compelling.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? It was that good. It was just like, for 4 minutes, I just threw my whole marriage out. And I'd imagined our whole divorce and her cheating on me with the neighbor. You know, it's funny how music can do that.
They got songs like that. Dude, Metro Boomin just hit that. If you're cheating, I don't want to know. And like, I love that song, but I'm
what a way to bring that back.
You know what I'm saying? God. That was a way. That was definitely. Oh, God, for sure.
Dude, Metro don't miss, neither does The Weeknd. And to hear 21 Savage, man. It's hard to top. 21 Savage might be my favorite rapper the last year.
Really?
Yeah, man. If I had to brag people that are putting out new records, he's just like, it's just this thing with him. Like, I think it was the Drake record. I've always loved him, and I always thought he was good because it was like this real simplistic but kind of has layers to it still thing he did. But man, when he said, but you know all kind of Benz is, girl, you used to ride in the rinky dink. I was like, oh man, I just, you know, I don't know. But of the last year of like people actively putting out records, you know?
Yeah, I'd say so. I haven't listened to too much 21.
You gotta go check the Drake 21 album out. It was dope.
Yeah. See, I don't know. See, I'm so more old school. So like, I know that country thing that you're doing is hard. I've been like, you know, I grew up on, you know, Woody and Big Tone and Tupac and underground gangster rap in Cali. But now I'm on my Chris Stapleton and, you know what I'm saying, Morgan Wallen plays in my car.
I tried it. We listened to Morgan Wallen the whole way up here. Yeah. I can say this, that as I've gotten, that's what I said, it's like the music grew with me. Yeah. But the good news is it grew with all of us.
Yes.
Right? Because you've known who we were since the Trap House days, right? Yes. So it's like,
welcome to the trap.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? It's like, and of course, that's a spitting image of exactly who we all were at that moment, and the charges that preceded prove it.
That's what we looked up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, now, you know, dude, like I said, I'm almost 39 years old. I'm fucking happily married.
Taxes.
I'm paying the shit. Now, not just paying them. I mean, goddamn, son, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm paying them for me. I'm paying them for the people that work for me, and then they're still having to pay them after I'm paying them for the people that work for me. And then it's just, dude, I don't even want to.
Yep.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Oh, it's
for
a straight
sure,
pyramid
right?
scheme.
It's a pyramid
Oh my
scheme,
gosh!
right?
Yeah, look, I never knew that they tax the freaking people that are making money as much as they actually do.
And
they take a lot.
No, we're talking about north of around 40% of every dollar you make. 40 cents of every dollar.
Yes, yeah. My last one was 37.5.
I tell you what, my dude does is every single dollar I make, he immediately takes 40% of it. Just we throw it right into a fund that just goes, all right, we got to pay the government that. It's just how that works. Yeah. And I don't fight with them. I don't try to haggle. You know, all my homies are rich dudes. They're trying to teach me little cheat codes, and I'm like, fuck y'all. You ain't been to jail. You're not afraid of it. I have. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you, dude.
You'll get probation still. I'm gonna get 60
for sure. 100. I'm getting whatever the mandatory maximum is of pretty much any sentence.
I'm gonna take a deal with the minimum just to try to escape.
100%. I'm gonna take the first deal they offer. It's just like, I'll take that one. That works for me.
They're gonna tax you on your attorney fees.
Yeah,
well,
crazy.
How much did you have to pay your attorney? Yeah. No, they're just ruthless. But hey, that's just part of it. I'm cool with it now because I'm trying to get up there. So in my eyes, I'm like, you know what? If I can make $1 million and you let me keep 600 and I'm still free, cool. Keep it running.
Well, the keep 600 is still subjective because that's the cats. They don't. You still got to pay a bunch of people, and you know how stuff goes. And then the cost of business. And one thing I've learned is, I thought when I started making more money that my cost of business would go down. I just felt like that's how those margins work for whatever. But see, I didn't go to school, so I didn't know what to expect. It's just me. All this has been me just assuming. Dude, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, I freestyled this whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I'm winging it, dude. I have no clue. I'm figuring it out. I'm learning as I go. I'm studying on the job.
Dude, I'm like, I'm like crew, and then I'm like, oh yeah, for real? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Nope, that's
right
it.
on, just do it.
But I thought, and that's not how it works, dude. The more money you make, the more you end up spending.
Yeah, we should listen to Biggie.
Woo! You know, that's something.
He told us in the 90s.
Yeah, he gave it all to us, and I was like, "What?" And you know what I've said my whole life? You got a problem with your money? Just give it to me. I'll deal with that for you.
Yeah, I always said that too.
But I will say this: it's every problem I prayed for.
It is.
But I don't know about if this worked out for you this way. I didn't think about. I never really looked at it from the money perspective until the money came. Like, I looked at it from the impact. Like, to me, it was music and people hearing it and what it was doing and how it was spreading.
That's how you got it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we could go out here and get a business degree or whatever, but when you really make an impact, so what I've always said was the fast way to $1 million is to reach 1 million people.
Right.
So you reach these 1 million people, but you have to do something good. You can't just say, hey, follow me. You have to actually give them a reason to follow, and it has to be positive.
Right.
So if you give them a good reason to follow you, and the money will come. Right. But it's what you do with it that makes a huge difference. You know, cool, we'll pay our taxes. We're going to do all the adult shit.
No problem. We're going to get back to our communities.
What are you going to do? Dude, the jail
Take care of our friends the best we can.
Facts.
But here's the problem with taking care of friends that becomes an issue that I have to deal with, and I'm so glad I get to talk about this for a second, is that there comes a point where if I'm taking care of you, I'm enabling you from taking care of yourself. And my job is not to take care of you because we're friends or because I ended up being successful or any of that. My job as your friend is to try to help you to figure it out for you. It goes back to my boxing analogy. I get in the gym with you.
Yeah.
You help train for my fight. I'll train you for your fight.
But do you lose that friend if they just can't understand?
Yes, every time. Every time they walk straight away. You've had it happen too, didn't you?
Multiple times.
Yeah, it's like every time. And you know what? It's never them walking away. It's me having to. You know what I learned though, and I live by this now, and I sleep better at night. I started creating boundaries in my life, and I know we use the word boundary loosely, but the boundary is simply this is the distance in which I can love you and me. And if you have a problem with that, then that lets me know you don't love me. Because I want you to put a boundary between us that makes it where you can love me and you.
Yeah.
So why would you not want the same from my side of this friendship? You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I have to put this boundary here because I love me. But I love you too. So this is the way we can do that. If you don't respect that boundary, then you don't really love me. You just love you. And that's cool. I'll love me and you love you, and we can just move on. But if we're going to love each other, we got to do it from this healthy place right here. Yep. You know what I mean?
That's legit right there.
Yeah, and that starts weeding, thinning out the herd immediately.
Will.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really will.
Even like down to my phone thing I'm going through, it's like, I don't have a phone.
Yeah.
I'm using other people's phone. I got a phone. My man's got a phone that I can grab if I need a phone.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not carrying a phone. If you can't respect that, then you don't respect me.
I couldn't
you know what I mean?
That.
This isn't personal. I'm not a music guy though. I'm a podcast guy. Right. So it's like I make music. I don't want to be influenced. I'll check enough to know what's hot and current. That's how I keep up with the new stuff too. So like when 21 drops, now anybody, I go check, once a week, I'll hop on the computer and just see what the top 10s are. Just run through some stuff, just let it play in the background, see what's banging, see what's jamming. I don't want to never not know, but I don't want to listen enough to feel influenced. You know what I mean? I never want to listen enough that you hear my next record and go, oh, you could tell he was listening to that Drake album on repeat.
Yep.
Because I've seen that happen to artists.
Heard that happen a bunch
it happens,
of times.
dude.
Yeah.
It's like you start becoming what you like, not what you are.
Or when the artist does the same type of tempo on each of the 4 songs on the album, you're like, you didn't switch shit up, did you? No. So whenever you get into a place, because I know that you spoke on depression and anxiety many different times and things of that nature, whenever you get into that place, is that when you get your most powerful writing? Or is it just when you're in your happiest?
Sometimes it's whenever I can sort through it. Sometimes music's what helps me get out of it. Sometimes it's listening to music that helps me get out of it. Sometimes I wallow. Sometimes I'm still trying to learn tools. I'm actively in therapy. Like, I'm actively trying to learn. I have mentors now. Like, I'm actively,
opening up your mind.
Being a sponge. Like, I'm trying to learn to do better, because you do what you've always done, you get what you've always gotten. I've done incredible with the music, but because I was so obsessed with it. You know what I mean? It's like, but unfortunately, a part of the success of the music was I let the rest of my life fall apart at times. Yeah. And it goes back to loving myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I love Jelly Roll more than I love Jason.
I think it's a hard balance.
Yeah, it's a rough balance.
Yeah, because you got to go and perform here, but you got to come back to reality in your home.
For sure. And you got to stay, I want to stay humble through all this.
That's my
Like, I don't want to be a different dude. I want to be the same dude you've ever known me to be. You know what I mean? There's obviously going to be some changes.
Hard.
The schedule changes. That's what money don't change nobody. Money doesn't create character, it reveals it. We'll start there. Yeah, but two, success, what changes people with a little bit of, and I've had a minute amount of success. So now I look at guys like Morgan Wallen, and I look at guys like Eminem, and I'm like, man, I could not imagine what your schedule was like. Because my schedule right now is like, we've been trying to do this for 2 months.
Yeah.
And like, he'll send you the screenshots. Well, I don't know where Boston's at, but he'll send you the screenshots of like, man, it just don't stop. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But the good news is y'all got an airport across the street from your spot.
Yeah, buddy.
We're going to figure that out next time, baby. We're dropping in, son. Yeah, we're dropping in, son.
Yeah, we'll just come pick you up.
Yeah. I love that you're just up here fucking living the American weed dream. And
you're
fucking,
supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm breathing right
now. Yeah, it's so close, too.
Yeah.
You're fucking 4 hours away from Nashville. The drive wasn't horrible. It was a little more stuffy on 40 after Knoxville than I remember 40 being.
Yeah.
Because I've been on a bus the last 6 years coming through here.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't bad though. It was a cool afternoon drive for us.
I like it. I love it. I cruise up Virginia. We go over to West Virginia. We bomb around. We got South Carolina right here in Tennessee. I try to stay out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
They put me away if I'm with the decade. I don't fuck with them like that. So.
Yeah. We love you still.
But we love you so much. And I love going over there. Nashville is always my favorite. But, I'll be up in Clarksville and shit, bombing around Springfield.
Yeah.
Those are the jams. I like the backwoods, man.
Me too. Well, I'm still the same way.
I love the backwoods.
Me too. I'm still back road
riding. I love the
riding.
fact that you could wave at everybody when you're driving by. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just super cool.
Well, there's just something to me there's nothing more peaceful than a Sunday drive through a countryside with a joint.
Oh my goodness.
You just roll you one up, and put on a playlist. And here's the deal: you crack the window, and you put the playlist where the music is just as loud as the air coming through the window. Yeah. You get that perfect balance right there, dude. You can't understand
the lyrics, but you can hear the music.
Yeah, but you can hear the music.
Yeah,
and you know them enough to kind of hum along in your head, and it's kind of it's awesome. That's one of my favorite things.
But see,
in life.
It's got to have that right, like piney, good kush. You don't want no like purple indicas dropping.
No. You got to have some.
You want some of that good sativa going.
You got what you need is either a good sativa or one of them good 70-30s. Ooh, one of them 60-40s. So you get a little your body trembles just enough to be like, hey, I'm feeling it there too.
Yeah,
but I'm also up in my head. My eyes are a little, what you say, Blake? My eyes are a little squinty, but my head's talking to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think that's the move.
Hell yeah. So you got some albums dropping this year.
We do. June 2nd, Whitsett Chapel Baptist Church, man. Whitsett Chapel. The church was actually just called Whitsett Chapel, but the church I went to as a kid was called Whitsett Chapel Baptist. And you know enough about Nashville to know where it's at. Mm-hmm. So there's a moment where Bell Road turns into Stewart's Ferry. And it's right there on the corner of Smith Springs Road and Bell Road, right by Nashville Village. Forever. Yeah. And you take that road right by Percy Priest Lake all the way to Donaldson. And literally halfway from Antioch to Donaldson, that 40 going towards this place right here, exit, is up on a little hill across from the lake. There's a little, 75-person square building church. I mean, it didn't have a closet, dude. You open the front door, church pews, and I went there as a kid, and this record started reminding me of those Sunday drives with them joints, and it started reminding me of church, and I just, for whatever reason, was listening to these songs we were writing, and I kept driving, and we were driving down Hopkins Pike earlier today on the way here.
Yeah.
And before we got all the way down Hopkins Pike to Mount Juliet, we passed 4 churches on Hopkins Pike alone. It's like a 7-mile stretch. And you go to California, you're from California.
Yeah.
Man, you might not see a church every 60 miles, 50 miles.
That's
I mean, you got to go seek them. You got to go looking for a church to find one. Where, you're going to end up in a church parking lot here to turn around once a day. You know what I mean? Like, if you got to turn your car around, a great place to whip around is a church parking lot. You know what I mean? So I just started thinking about that being so heavily involved in our culture. Yeah. And I wanted to write an album that felt like that. Okay. To me, albums are about feelings. So I wanted this to remind you of a foggy drive. What we're talking about. Yeah. That foggy drive on Stewart's Ferry. Yeah. On, you know what I mean? Right there by Smith Springs. You can see the fog.
Shit out your mind.
You can see the fog coming through the trees off Percy Priest Lake. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I wanted to create.
Hell yeah. And what else you got?
We got a lot cooking. We got a lot cooking. I can't talk about it on nothing public because.
Yeah. Well, don't tell me that.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Me and you'll talk. We'll talk. But I can say this right now: all attention is on June 2nd, man.
Nice.
If there was ever a call to action, and I was like asking for help in life, like pre-save the album on your iTunes, pre-save it on your Apple Music playlist, your Spotify. Pre-save it anywhere you can pre-save it. We're selling bundle packages where you can buy autographed CDs and stuff on the website.
That's on
JellyRoll615.com. And this isn't about trying to make money off of them. We're selling autographed CDs for $7, $8, $10 or something. Yeah. This is just about trying to get the music as far as it can go. Yeah. And this is where I'm honest, and I've always been honest with the people that support me. Is I'm trying to really have a big day. Like, I'm trying for us to sit at the top of that chart for real. Yeah. Not just the iTunes charts. Not just this chart, or not just the rap chart, or not just, I want to sit up there with the big dogs. I want to put up some real numbers that first week. I want Billboard magazine to have to call and go, we don't know who the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Billboard knows who I am. Yeah, Billboard's been good to me. But I want Billboard to go, damn, okay, because to some degree, this is so wild. I've dropped 38 projects in my career. You talk about the epitome of working your ass off. I've dropped 38 projects in my career. And I feel like this is my debut album. Yeah. I feel like a guy that dropped 38 mixtapes and now I present to the world an album. You know what I'm saying? I know it might sound really weird, but that's how I look at it. And it's how...
So this is you.
It's how media looks at it too, if you think about it. Because like, even for Billboard, like, I just started charting on Billboard for real in the last 18 months. Now, I had a great run. I'm still currently the #1 on the emerging artist charts. I've been there longer than anybody. I broke the record by like 6 weeks at this point. It's fucking wild. Yeah. But I'm still, to them, I've never dropped an album because they all got hip at Son of a Sinner and Saved Me. Yeah. So they never really seen, and Ballads of the Broken was an EP anyway. So like, to the, there's a part of the world that's like, this is our first time we're buying a Jelly Roll album. Yeah. So that was a lot of pressure.
It really is.
It's crazy because you don't think about it when you're dropping mixtapes. You're just feeding the hump.
Waylon and Willie's, all those were almost like mixtapes.
Yeah, if you by letter of the law. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my first time. This is big. This is a big deal. It's a big deal.
We're gonna get it.
Yeah, June 2nd is a big deal, dude. We'll set something up here to come do an acoustic show around it or something too.
Yes, most definitely.
Do something private for the growers.
Yes, private for the growers would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Get some fucking people going. Well, man, it was amazing having you up here, dude.
I love you, brother. Thanks for letting me come talk. It's been the coolest thing ever.
Hell yeah. No, for real.
It's been really cool to just see what you're doing, man. I'm openly honest with you to say, and I've never said this to nobody, but I was not skeptical, but concerned when I first heard about you. You know what I mean?
Gets skeptical about my ideas.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just like, I know where you come from. Yeah. I know where I come from, and I know some dudes that know who you are. Yeah. They were like, yeah, no, you really did 10 years in prison. You really had a big stretch on you, so you're just like, man, I hope, you got to make sure. I hope he really figures it out. That's how I'm sure you felt it for me too as an ex-convict. You watch me start doing music, and you're like, man, I hope it's real. I hope he figures it out. So I'm getting you. I'm like, man, I hope it's real. I hope he figures it out. And then I meet you, and we spend that afternoon to evening together. And I was like, nah, he's got it figured out. Yeah. And then when I pulled in, I was like, No, Boston called and said, no, he's got it. When Boston came, he's like, no. I was like,
yeah.
good for him, man. Good.
Boston, we just want to roll that rolls.
No, I'm proud of you, man. I just think you've done it in a sustainable way, and I think you're going to have staying power, and that's what's the most important.
That's what I want. I want to make a change.
Because the deal is right. We don't want to have a good 2023. We want to make a difference for the next 30 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
well, man, I appreciate you, brother.
thank you, brother.
Hell
Love you.
yeah.
Thanks for the time. Oh.
Fuck 'em.
Thank you,
Hell yeah.